back to my channel, Journey to Jesus Lifestyle, where we are all on our journeys back to Jesus. So today we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about just how he released me from the demon of pornography. Oh my gosh. So just a little bit of background, I've struggled with a porn addiction since I was like 11 years old. No, maybe even younger. Like 10. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing. Literally, I didn't know what I was doing. I remember, again, I didn't know anything about the spiritual world. And remember, guys, we live in a spiritual world. And I think the moment I realized that, like, yo, it's not me. I'm not this evil person that just can't give up pornography. Like, there's something controlling me. The less I just, like, stopped beating up myself. And I just was just like, oh, well, if it's not me doing it, then maybe I can change it. So just, I can remember, like I said, like being like 9 or 10 years old on chat, you know, remember like IMs, age, sex, and location. Yeah. So like this guy I was talking to, some random guy. I remember his thing was called Drunken Monkey. But again, I was young, I was naive. I remember he said to me, hey, I don't know if he said, like, you want to touch yourself. He said something. I'm going to get vulgar because, oh, well, y'all need to know. And I was just like, what? Like, I was so young. And he was just like, hey, you know that, like, you can go into the shower and, like, put the shower head down there and, like, amazing things will, like, happen. I'm like, what are you talking about? Shouldn't have listened. I ended up listening, and I was probably hooked from then on out. He had me, y'all. He got your girl, y'all. And and this is something over the years, like, I would struggle with, like, whether I was dating in college, in high school, it was just a way of life for me. Like masturbation was a way of, it was just the norm for me. I didn't understand like what I was doing when I was doing that. I thought everyone does it, you know, like everyone masturbates, everyone has a vibrator, everyone does this. Like, so, okay, it's just a way of life. Like, at least I ain't having sex. And I was doing that too. So I can remember like really trying, like, God, like, why can't I get free from this thing? And I just struggled with it. So sometimes I would be, and again, I didn't know anything about demons, spiritual warfare. We live in a spiritual world. I didn't know anything about this, but I just knew I kept struggling with it. And I would say, okay, I'm done. But something in me, a demon, wouldn't let me throw out my vibrator. Like, I'm 29 years old. I have tried and struggled with this thing for, like I said, since I was like 9 years old. And I can remember like sometimes like my pastor telling me like, yo, you have control to say no. You've been given a free will to say no. And that would always come back to me. And sometimes I couldn't even hear the Holy Spirit saying, no, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't need to do this. You have free will. You don't need to do it. And that urge, no, you're going to do it, Bree. No. You go in that drawer. It was almost like I was a slave. Like, I was in bondage to it. And for those who struggle with pornography, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't want to do it, but there's that voice in you. No. What you're going to do is you're going to pick this up because you need to, Brie. Why would you not do it? It's easy. It's fun. It's free. It's not hurting anybody. It's da-da-da-da-da. You'll get a release. Da-da-da. And then, of course, once you get that release, like, you feel horrible. I mean, like, and I would say, yo, why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I keep going through this thing? Like, I want to stop, even into marriage. This was something, like, my husband knew I did it. And this is something that, like, I just did. Like, he, like, don't mess with me in my time, honey. Like, and it wasn't nothing he was doing wrong. But it was literally, it was just a habit. Even when I didn't want to do it, I found myself, and it's funny because this was happening to me since I was 9, that was my release. So whenever I got any free time, that was the first thing I did, no matter what. Like, I wasn't reading a book, I wasn't watching TV. The first time I got alone, honey, that's where I was going. And that's just what I would do. That was my pattern, my dysfunctional pattern. And I really felt that I was in bondage. And um the past 2 years, he definitely was like helping, like, and I was like, as my walk started increasing with God, but not that much. Actually, no, Sophia, my daughter, when she was born, it one, when I was pregnant, I just didn't have any urge, and I was just like, thank you, God. And I can remember saying, like, God, like, did I beat this thing? I have not thought about it, and I don't have the urge to do it. It's one thing not to think about it, but when you did that thing, that habit, you don't have the urge to do it. Like, I felt, and so when my daughter was born, like, I didn't do it, and I just felt like free. I felt free for the first time, and then one thing led to another, and then I found myself going back, like, girl, your husband not home, you could do it. You could do it. No one will know. You could do it. And I'm like, well, you know, baby, I could do it. And so, no. And then, so then it happened. Then I did it again. And then that, I never really was like on it, but it was still a crutch. And finally, I just got like angry and like, God, like, why can't I break this like bondage thing over me? And I would pray, and I would just be like, please, like begging him, like, please, like, deliver me this from, because there was this one last time, probably about a year ago, and I can remember now, I felt like the closer I was getting with God, the more he was like, no, you're not going to do it. And there were several times I beat that voice. Like, I was just like, no. And I walked away and I did whatever. And I can remember laying there, and it was almost like a bully. Like, it was like, you're going to get up and you're going to do this. And I think that was the first time I realized that whatever was going on was controlling me, that whatever I was dealing with, this is demonic. This is not even a flesh thing. Like, it was like literally bullying me to go to my vibrator, to do what I had to do, because I am enslaved to this thing. And I was not consciously aware of what was happening. So with more prayer, and I think this is when I really just started taking God really seriously. And I learned all about like spiritual warfare. Oh, one thing that woke me up. There's this Instagram page, and I don't know why. I guess I started following it just for this one picture to show up, because I saw a picture and it always bothered me, and it always came back, and I know it was God that was showing me this. A man was watching pornography, and there were like snakes and serpents and everything coming out of his eyes, around his neck. And that is truly how it feels when you're in bondage to pornography. It's almost like, you know, you're not supposed to be doing this. This is not okay, but it's like bondage. And ever since I saw that picture, mind you, I was still struggling with pornography. I saw that picture, and every time I would think, you know, or get that nudge to do it, I would just be like, that picture would just pop up in my head, and I'll be like, no. Finally, I just basically had enough, and I started getting into spiritual warfare, and I started really like studying like what is going on in the spiritual realm when like I'm being like pushed to like look at pornography and to masturbate and to do all this stuff. And when I realized that it's not me, that I've literally been enslaved, like, I was like, oh, heck no. And just my relationship with God started to really solidify. Sorry, that's my dog. My relationship with God really started to solidify. And I was like, oh, yo, when I say I threw out my booty lube, I threw out everything. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this sick, perverted mind. I'm done. Freedom. So if you're struggling with pornography, I would say, yo, the first things first, to be honest with you, I didn't have the balls to do it. I did not have the guts to throw out my vibrator. But that is one thing that's keeping you bound. Understand, like, if you're trying to break away from something, if you're trying to break away from cigarettes, why would you ever keep a pack of cigarettes in your drawer? It's like, what? But I was sleeping. He woke me up. He woke me up to what was going on. So what I'm saying, if you are struggling with pornography, do what you have to do. As you walk with God, and get your walk gets solidified, and you get closer and closer and build a relationship with him, like he's going to, I mean, the conviction is going to be greater and greater and greater, because now you truly know better. And if you're listening to this right now and you struggle with pornography, don't, like, literally, it's keeping you enslaved, it's keeping you in bondage. Please, like, so throw out your vibrators, I don't care what movies say, I don't care any of that stuff. Masturbation is not of God, period. And I know you may think that it's safe, it's a safe thing to do, at least I'm not having sex, because that's what I thought. No, throw it out. Throw it out and just wait until you get married. Seriously, throw them out. So that's all I got for you today. If you are struggling with pornography, ask God to deliver you from it. It's funny. One last thing. So he took everything away. Like, I mean, there is not even a taste, a urge, a desire. And that's why I say you need his help. You need his help. It's not even a taste, a urge, a desire, and nothing really changed. Nothing really changed. He just took it away. He took it away. Some people's things may be smoking weed. Some people's things may be drinking. Like, pornography was my thing. Like, that was my thing that I struggled with. And now I'm free from it. And he's going to just, he's going to start to make you free from all the things that have you bound. But this is a process, and this is why it's your journey back to him. And depending on the areas you're struggling with, he knows you're struggling. Give it to him. Let him help you fight this thing. That's it. And you're gonna realize, like, yo, it was easy. It was easy. That's why when you're doing it his way, it's easy to let go, because he's gonna be like, no, you're better than that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Brianna. I just exposed you to the demonic world that you live in. Don't do it. Don't do it, Bri. They're trying to keep you enslaved. Don't do it. And you will be free. You will be free, but you do have to participate with God. He can nudge you all he wants, but you got to participate with him. When he nudges you, you actually have to listen. He's going to take that urge right away. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone have a blessed day, and that's it. Bye.